Summer City presents Waveriders.
Downtown hanging around, walking streets up and down, going nowhere, always getting there, watching faces, in my mind I'm trading places, tailored suits and ties, living someone else's life. Everything was alright till I looked through.
We look forward to good waves, good vibes, and a great contest.
And I saw pain, I saw pain, I saw a field day coming for the undertaker. I saw flame, yes I saw flame. Well, I saw hatred and I saw fear. I saw a man of God and I asked him, how do I get out of here, out of this crowd of lonely people? Oh, I need to get out of this crowd.
The drive to DY was full of laughs and stories and contests all over Australia. But this time, we're going to take in the Monia, Surf Spectacular, and the Australian titles.
Window shopping, dreaming, seldom stopping, thinking just how good it is, this lucky life I live. Troubled souls abound, what am I doing downtown, drowning in sea footsteps, gasping for my breath, teardrops to the...
Checking out a couple of small beaches along the way, we found a nice small wave.
I saw no faith and trust, tell me, as I saw mannequins posing as women and men, but I saw no love. Now tell me, where is that love? Well, I saw failure, I saw frustration, and I got frightened, and I got to find myself some transportation out of this crowd of lonely people. Oh, I need to get out of this crowd of lonely people.
Last year came flooding back. The Monia at DY last year was 12 to 15 feet. We're looking forward to the same conditions this year.
Yes, I do. Oh, my. I had to be leaving. Well, I had to go. I had to save what little happiness left inside his soul. I saw hatred. Well,
Yes, the surf that year was 12 to 15 feet on the Saturday. A lot of competitors looked at it and thought, I'm getting out of here.
Out of this crowd. Oh, I need to get on out of this crowd of lonely people. Of lonely people.
Steve Rouse goes for a re-entry. Watch the re-entry. Was. Here he goes again. Watch Steve Rouse's re-entry.
Now when I leave her in the morning, my woman don't keep me standing in the door. She don't ask me when I'm coming home, just lets me know she'll be there waiting for me.
World champion John Christensen. Unfortunately, still in South Africa, but a great surfer. Here he is in action.
When I whisper in her ear 3 little words, I love you, that's all she ever listens for.
The sweetest sound she's ever
She loves those 3 little words,
I love you,
they just mean everything to her.
and I mean each and every
Yes, I mean each and every word. Like anyone else, we have our problems. Oh, sometimes we carry things just a little too far. But I know just what it takes to solve them. And it comes from deep inside my heart. And she's satisfied 'cause each time I heard her, I tell her.
Dave Monley, finalist in last year's Monia.
Whisper in her ear,
Petrie, going for re-entry.
Yes, I mean each and every word. And she's satisfied 'cause each time I heard her,
Yes,
I tell her,
Cole Samways from Newcastle even managed to crack a few waves that day. Let's hope it's going to be this good this year.
oh, that's all she ever listens for.
Sweetest sound she's ever
She loves those three little words.
I love you.
They just mean everything to her.
And I mean each and every
Oh, I
word.
mean each and every word.
Even the best, like John Christensen, can bite the dust occasionally.
I love you.
She loves those three little words.
I love you.
And when I leave her in the morning, I tell her,
I love you.
'cause I know all she ever listens for.
I love you.
Yes, I know all she
The semi-final was set. From the United Kingdom, Kevin Andresen.
Would you like to live with me on a tropical island?
And Curl Curl, John Christensen.
Sail the seven seas the rest of our lives. Would you care if nobody was there but you and I? And the castaway wind is our guide
D-Wise, Dave Monley.
over the deep blue highway, and chase the sun till she sleeps in the sea, and the moonlight is on the sand, and there beneath that heavenly skylight you could lay in the shade of the palms of my hands. And
Yep, it was a great contest, and the memories keep flooding through.
just a dream, the dreams have been known to come true.
Beautiful women,
Imaginary captain in a one-woman crew. I see us on a ship named the Sandcastle, sailing off into the blue.
big waves,
On a one-way ticket to paradise.
and good vibes.
Do you wanna go? On a one-way ticket to paradise. On a one-way ticket now, wouldn't that be nice? I could meet you on the shoreline.
Arriving at DY,
Morning soon,
we looked at this.
with no destination, short of sailing around the moon. Seafaring gypsies, flowing with the tide, with the castaway wind by our side.
But looking over at the Bombora at Long Reef, there was still hope for big surf. The first heats hit the water. I was in one of them.
Dreams have been known to come true for an imaginary captain and a one-woman crew. I see us on a ship named the Sandcastle, sailing off into the blue. On a one-way ticket to paradise. Oh, do you wanna go, baby? On a one-way ticket to paradise. Wouldn't that be?
The drop-ins were there by the dozen. All aboard, boys.
So nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
Greg Vitnall.
Wouldn't
Long Reef's John Tombleson. Certainly not like the old days. 4 days before the contest, a couple of the DY locals decided to try out the big swell. Phil Avalon jumps off the back. Coal Sugars paddles from the beach. The first few waves were pretty bumpy over the falls. Cole decides to jump off the rocks too. Decides to have a look at the rocks. Whilst Phil takes a bumper out the back. Let's hope the Monia Surf Spectacular picks up like that. But was it to be? The second day saw officials gathering. There's still no sign of the swell promised. But the club members, including Henry Oliver, decided to have a bit of a laugh about it anyway. This is the better side of Henry Oliver. The afternoon saw conditions improve somewhat, with John Matthews cutting loose in the small waves. tries a couple of cutbacks. Whilst Henry Oliver goes with the foam. John Matthews shows us that you can't ride them to the beach. Back at the contest area, the guys were getting a little bit itchy. They wanted to get out into the big surf, but on the beach there was a bit of a tragedy. A young surfer had been hit by a board, but the Waveski guys were there to help. Channel 7 were down there filming the action live as the finals of the DY Monia Surf Spectacular came to a close. Michael Petrie in blue. Alan Wells in red. Dave Monley in yellow. And Bruce Radnich in green. First place was Mike Petrie. Third place, Dave Monley. Second place, Alan Wells. And fourth place, Bruce Radnich. With the Monia contest down, we had to look forward now to the Australian and hope that the waves would get bigger.
It's been a long time now since you've been aware that someone is watching you. He's gonna catch you. Sooner or later, when your big chances come, you'll look for the catches, and there will be none. Remember before you cry.
Longreef was chosen for the first day.
Someone is
Here at Newcastle, Cole Samways and Keith Porter go through their paces.
before you run and hide. He's gonna get you.
Whilst Western Australia's Ken Vidler hooks into a nice wall.
Escape the boy.
Alan Wells wasn't happy with his second place in the recent Monia, so he continued to get in form with the Australian Championships. David Hill on a left. Tim Curl hooks into a right-hander. Even the Western Australian ladies show how it's done. Tasmania's Mark Eves. Peter Craig from DY.
Jump in the shadows that come up from behind. Scared of the darkness that's there in your mind. You're frightened to move because of what you might find. Someone is
The
watching.
second day was shifted to Stain, where the waves were foolish, but the girls were great.
Before you run and hide.
Hi fellas, let me test your memory back a little. Remember when you were little fellows, you'd come down to the beach and perhaps look at the older guys riding a wave ski, or if you're really lucky you got to ride one yourself. They were really big and heavy and cumbersome, and after every couple of waves or so, you'd pull the bung out and let the water dry out. Well, let me tell you, things have really changed in the 80s. Wave skis today are super light, very short, and very, very manoeuvrable. This week on the Sydney's northern beaches, we've been covering the Australian Wave Ski Championships. This contest features some of the best wave riders in the world. Today's ultra-modern pocket rockets, with their multi-fins mounted to very light fiberglass hulls, are designed to rip and tear the face of waves. Their jockeys are strapped on with a seatbelt, allowing the rider to become part of the board and the wave. This low profile puts the surfer in positions that really does defy gravity in almost any situation. Board riding, the riders fight to stay in the most powerful part of the wave, looking always just to stay with or under the falling lip. They also score points by manoeuvring their skis up and down or to the left and right of the breaking wave. Like the riders of the rapids that use canoes and kayaks, the modern ski surfers are strapped into their seats. When caught in a tricky section, a quick roll under the water, and it's back to the lineup. Top-seeded surfers are yet to enter the championship. And after days of competition, there is one surfer who has emerged as a major threat. Ken Villa, the Western Australian lifesaver, who captured the headlines the weekend before at the Australian Surf Lifesaving Championships held on the Queensland Gold Coast. Ken picked up 2 national gold medals, paddling a ski that is totally different from the one he's riding today.
The surf skis for the Australian Surf Lifesaving Champs are 18 feet long, and they're simply designed to race around the course in the fastest time that you can. Where today it's completely different. It's like surfboard riding and skill. You're on an 8 foot or 7 foot and around that sort of length ski, and it's just straight out wave riding skills. And so it's completely different, and there's not really many people that were at the Surf Champs that are here.
Well, that's the sport of wave ski riding. The heats have been completed, and now we're looking forward to the Australian Championship final. The surf scene has produced some wild and wonderful characters over the years, and one such personality is Newcastle-born actor, writer, movie producer and director Phil Avalon. A familiar figure on the beaches both summer and winter, the blonde-haired surf ski nut can mix it with the best of them.
I've been staying high in the middle with an honest-to-goodness hey diddle-diddle. I traded my Porsche for a cow and a fiddle too. My train of thought reached an intersection, got switched on to a new direction. Now I'm here to spread the infection to you.
For Phil, this weekend it's been the Australian Wave Ski Championships. But next month, it could be any one of the world's glamour surfing breaks.
I've enjoyed the ocean for my at least 15 of my 35, 38, 39 years. But coming from Merriweather, like you, Darryl, I'm a Newcastle boy. And even though sometimes I've been overseas or whatever, I've always managed to take a surfboard or a surf ski with me.
Well, a lot of people remember the movie that you made, of course, Summer City.
Right.
And that starred Mel Gibson.
Yes, yeah. Mel Gibson, well, Mel was at NIDA at the time, and actually we had to use a stand-in surfer for him. He couldn't even surf, but he's doing quite well as an actor nowadays.
Hi, this is Fort Pelly Austin with the biggest hits and platters that matter. Now, on the show today, gang, I've got the East
Gloria.
coming by, over new release out.
What are you doing here?
Coming into the studio.
Good.
This is really something mighty.
Oh, I don't care. Booze me, mate.
Round two, and the Wanderer is coming in as well.
Oh, Robbie, do you know Gloria? No, but I've heard all about you, Gloria.
To get away from the pressures of the movie business, the ocean has always been Phil's escape valve.
Lay down your woes over what's close. It all will flow if you let it go. Get up every morning at the crack of dawn, jump in the water, roll around on the lawn. It's really fine having only what I want going on.
I think a bloke now, he gets married, he might get out of the water for 2 or 3 years, but then that's where these things come in. They can't get back on the shortboard. 3 years off a surfboard, and you got to start all over again. But with a surf ski, the bloke that's been out of the water for a few years can get back on one of these a lot easier. But of course, when you get up to this high level of surfing, like the Australian Championships, well, that takes a little bit more practice.
Phil Avalon didn't win the national title yesterday, but that didn't really matter. What did matter was that Phil was doing his own thing away from the glare of the lights, and on a stage nature provides free of charge every day of the year.
I've been staying high in the middle with an honest-to-goodness hey diddle-diddle. I traded my Porsche for a cow and a fiddle too. My train of thought reached an intersection, got switched on to a new direction. Now I'm here to spread the infection to you.
Thanks, Kev, aren't you, Pelly? Well, it's a beautiful day here at North Stane Beach, and after 5 days of intensive competition, we're just about set for the final to determine this year's Australian Wave Ski champion. The surf a little disappointing, hasn't been as good as it's been through the week, but the 6 finalists, well, they make up a pretty hot field. We've got Michael Petrie, the first ever Australian champion in this sport, and he's hoping to probably go out on a high note today. Keith Porter pushed him all the way in the semi-final and is a bit of a danger here today, a dark horse in this final. Steve Farthing's pretty confident. He's sitting over there not saying too much. And of course, Phil Avalon, who's just stoked that he's made the final. So all in all, it looks like some hot competition. The boys are really going to have to work for their waves here today. Michael Petrie really milking the shore break here. Small surf not giving the ski riders much assistance at all, but he's gaining good points there with some nice hip turns. Coming onto the shore break and getting maximum points and getting another turn in before coming adrift. Keith Porter wearing the blue singlet now, getting on a nice little shoulder here. Swings the ski round, looking to get as many turns as he can as he comes up to the lip. Throws it off the lip. Looking for this little shoulder on the shore break now. Pushing hard. Another couple of turns in. And wouldn't score a lot of points for that. He wouldn't be real happy with that one at all. Good point scoring wave as Avalon pushes down the face of it now. Has a bit of a wall to work with too. Comes back to the left. Paddles down the face again, trying to get into the pocket to get these little multi-fin skis really working now as he comes off the top. He really wants to win this, Phil Avalon. He's been working very well right throughout the week. Masters winner last year. Michael Petrie in yellow. He's starting to look good in this competition, picking up very, very good waves. He's not panicking. He's waiting for the waves with the right face. And as you can see, getting plenty of opportunity to throw the little ski around. Now into the shore break area, and again, he's got that face to work with. Off the top, there it is, the re-entry. Quick adjustment of the body, still trying to get the turns in. And Petrie at this stage, I would think ahead on points.
In first position was Michael Petrie, 1984 Australian champion.
About time I came back.
And in second position was another up-and-coming rider, Chris Porter. In third position, a very close competitor, was Red Phil Avalon. Thank you very much.
Well, the trip to Sydney was worth it. We didn't get the waves we expected, but we had a great time and met some great guys. We would have hoped DY would have been like this, but maybe next time. Driving home, we talked about the Phillip Island contest in November, the Australian titles in Queensland next year, and the Bali event here.
Petrie and Shane Stedman once had a vision of a lightweight Waveski. So they made it. But to prove its worthiness, they needed to test it under the power and size of waves to be found on Hawaii's North Shore. The trip did prove the quality of design and the ability of the new ski, and within weeks of returning, Mike Petrie won his third Australian title. Mike and Shane tell us the whole story.
This is Hawaii, Shane, isn't it? Pretty here. Where are we going to go first?
Well, I think, Mike, if we hit Waimea Bay, that seems like the go.
There it is, just over there.
It's a good spot, too. It looks a little small.
No, there's some waves out on that point. Right out on the point. It's a long way out, but there's waves there.
It's a beaut spot, isn't it? Hey, look at this clean sand, and we get out into the water. It's beautifully clean water as well.
A lot of people on the beach, too.
It's a one of these places where you have to paddle a long way to that point, and it looks from here to be really small, but we'll soon see that it's not that small at all.
No, it's fine out there, mate. There'll be a few good-sized waves out there, 6 foot plus.
But there are those rocks. That's the rocks that are called pinballs. Why that Hawaiian guy did tell us why they call it pinballs.
Bounce you around off the rocks like a pinball machine. Apparently, they don't look too friendly.
Friendly's not Hawaii's waves. Michael, the difference between waves, you know, this particular shot of getting under a wave doesn't really show up, but the waves here are not unlike Fairy Bower on a good day.
Oh, they are a bit unlike it, Shane. In Hawaii, the waves move towards the beach about 3 times as fast, and then they hit a rock shelf, so they're a lot stronger when they actually break than Australian waves.
I suppose that'd have a lot to do with the fact that there's no continental shelf there like we have to break down the speed.
It's raw ocean swell, and it hits a shallow reef and belts you.
This shot coming up of the actual ski being thumped up against the rocks. One of the reasons we went to Hawaii was to prove this new lightweight product, not only for ability on the waves, but also its ability to withstand the sort of treatment that all surf craft get. And this shot actually proves it quite nicely.
We were pretty lucky. I mean, I didn't get the treatment, the ski did.
Yes, well, of course, if you were strapped onto it there, it probably meant the end of it. This is also a shot that shows the incredible power of the even the backwash.
Yeah, that's just the shore break. That's right. That's normally a nothing wave, but there's quite a bit of power there. The ski survived the rocks pretty well. I'm glad I wasn't stuck to it. Well, that was Waimea Bay, Shane. Where are we going to go next?
I think we should hit Pipeline, mate. That's the one. This is the...
Do you know, no one's ever ridden Big Pipeline strapped to a ski. They say it'd be absolute madness and suicide.
Well, by looking at the size of that wave, you can understand why people would be a little bit on the apprehensive side.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
Well, this is it. These are the biggest, most powerful left-hand waves in the world. Looking down from the cameraman's angle on the top of this, you can imagine how high that is above, and this shot shows it graphically from the in the water shot.
Beautiful little lineup here.
This is the classic surfing pose. This is the one that everybody tries to get tucked right up into that curl with a wave just normally belting over your shoulder this way, just pushing your shoulder down to the bottom.
Yeah, point of interest there, talking about the bottom, it's only about 3 feet deep where that wave breaks, and Pipeline would be the most dangerous surf in the world, and probably the surf where most lives have been lost. It would definitely have claimed more lives than any other break in the world. Underneath the water's a lava shelf with stalagmites of volcanic rock, they call it, and if you hit one of them with the power of that wave behind you, you'd be dead. So,
unfortunately, every year life is claimed, at least one life is claimed at Pipeline.
At least one. You can see why with wipeouts like this.
Well, this one coming up now, you can see the power of the wave, and being strapped in, you just don't have, like on a surfboard, the ability to split yourself away from the wave.
Yeah, well, I became the first person to surf it and survive without brain damage.
Yes, well, of course, that's a fairly debatable point. These smaller waves, these were taken, this is the reform of Sunset, and just allows a little bit more...
Pipeline,
I'm sorry.
You've got brain damage.
I know. Well, I was watching you.
Oh. Yeah, well, we did have these smaller waves in here to show that there's type of manoeuvres you can do where you don't do them on big waves, you just get killed. Where are we going now?
We're heading to Sunset, and isn't this amazing? This old Cadillac, the only car on the island that was available for hire. It certainly did us justice. This is Sunset. This is the spot that probably everybody regards as the training ground for...
Yes, Suicide Sunset, they call it. The lip there is so heavy that you've got to stay away from it. It's strong enough to break your arm or leg or anything it wants to hit.
Well, again, if you get caught in between your paddle and the ski, there's not much chance of escaping.
Yeah, so you're much better off tucked inside the tube like I am here. It's a lot safer in there, believe it or not.
Until you get whomped.
Yeah.
This secret beach was a beautiful spot,
yeah, well,
wasn't it?
It was when the swell was dying. We just got some pretty nice, easy waves.
The cameraman lost his nose on that shot.
Well, he asked me to come close.
Couldn't get much closer. This is the clarity. This shot, this is underwater photography. The camera was under the water, and these shots are just so clean and clear.
This is a re-entry takeoff, Shane. It's never been filmed before. I do that when I'm paddling out and just throw myself upside down and let the lip carry me over and continue surfing.
The interesting part about that manoeuvre, which we'll see again again a little bit later, is that it's almost impossible to do on a surfboard because you don't have the power to paddle up the wave like you do with a ski, with a paddle. So
that's right, and get to your feet in time. Although Nat Young did them many years ago. Nat Young was a specialist at doing that, running out from the beach with the old longboards. They were possible. That's where I got the idea from.
I suppose without feeding your ego too much, we could class you as the Nat Young of waveski riding, because Nat Young is definitely the world's foremost surfboard rider, and I don't think there's much argument that you fit that category with waveskis. Here's that same shot.
Can you feed my ego a bit more, please?
I'll keep talking.
Yeah, you can see how the lip throws you back over there and you can continue surfing.
This epitomises the Hawaiian big wave. Look at the size of this wave.
Into 3 foot of water.
And if you're underneath that, I mean, there's just not much chance. You've got to stay above the surface. You've got to stay with...
There's where I get the brain damage. Thank you and good night.